Right. Uh, so my son took over Christmas responsibilities this year. He did the Christmas lunch and everything, and I took the opportunity to sack off Christmas. Not buy a turkey, not buy a tree for the first time ever, I think, and crack on with my game development. And so I've worked like a madman all the way through Christmas, barely sleeping, and I've made really good progress. So just updating you. So one of the things what I want to do in my game is have unique characters where you can recognise their faces. So if Jim creates a character and the character's called Bob, and you speak to Bob when you're playing one night, and then you see Bob in the street another night, you'd recognise his face, which is not easy to do. If you get something like a modern game like Conan Exiles, that's pretty. It's average. Creation. There we go. Come on. I looked at this the other day. So they have the head down on purpose because they all look the bloody same, basically. They look like an angry bloke. No matter what you do, it's the same angry bloke. Even when you start changing his nose and his eyebrows and stuff, it's basically the angry bloke. Or the angry woman, who looks like his sister, to be honest. And no matter what you change, it's going to be that grumpy woman. Do you know what I mean? And most games like that, angry man, grumpy woman, most games are like that, and there's lots of parameters for changing. Height and physique, obviously, and face. You can change the jaw, change the chin, randomise. Looks like the same woman. It's angry woman, isn't it? There's nothing. I think technically it is different, but it's that angry woman. This is where we're at, and it's not an easy thing. Now, I looked into it, and the way the human brain remembers faces is quite interesting. So I was reading an article in Cell magazine, as you do. I can't find it now. But anyway, it works out that there's a neuron per facial feature. So if you've got a strong jaw, there's a specific neuron or two that is lit up when you have a strong jaw. If you've got a big nose, you've got a neuron in your brain that switches on when it sees a big nose, and a different neuron when it sees a small nose. And they did this by wiring up rhesus monkeys and showing them photographs. And the photographs were made-up photographs, composites of eyes, noses and mouths, jaws and what have you. And they ended up where the scientists could tell which photograph the monkey was looking at from whatever neurons are turning on. Do you know what I mean? So they say that monkey's looking at photograph 137. and with an accuracy of about 70%. So, and we sort of store their shadows and the depth of faces. It's quite difficult to do to get a random face. It really is quite difficult to do. Nevertheless, I am trying to do it. So what I've got here is a skin mesh renderer. This is Jim's benefit, I guess. And I've got about 200 blend shapes. That's a blend shape preset. Oh, there's a skin mesh renderer with about 200 blend shapes. Now, about 100 of them are for creating facial features like a big nose, little nose, and about 100 of them are for doing expressions like smiling. She's not smiling. So I'm not on the right one. Eyes squinting. She's squinting at eye. The eyelashes move. Yeah, he done the eyelashes. Closed pressure and close her eye. There should be a smile in here somewhere. So half of them are expressions which I'm going to use during the course of the game, and half of them are parameters for character creation. So then I wrote some code to randomly change some of these features. So for instance, you can have chin prominence. See how chin gets bigger? Or there's a ton on noses, for instance, nose tip size. Look how many of those on nose. Nose is quite important. It makes a difference to your face. You'd recognise her. Or this one. There's tons of lots of things I could change. Now the trick is, a lot of these are if I do nose size, that's quite extreme for an Asian. Do you know what I mean? That's a big nose for an Asian. So the chances of that happening need to be quite low. But the chances of it happening that much, quite high. Do you know what I mean? So I had to sort of do a bit of an algorithm to do this. But if I run this, it changes her face, but it doesn't go mad with it. So she's got in the 20s and 30s down here, look, 20s and 30s. She might have a 70 or something in there, one big one. She's got nose base size is 60, which is quite big. And you know, that's a different face to that one, and it's a different face to this one. So I've still got some work to do, but I can random gen faces, and the amount I can generate is in the hundreds of billions at the moment. Now I'm going to change some things like eyelashes, different eyebrows, and skin tones as well. You can easily change skin tones. I can randomize it a little bit. So for instance, on this one, her skin, you know, I can make it so she's very shiny, like a plastic doll if you want. Change that. I can obviously change the colour. I can make her sort of more yellowy, darker, you know. So I've got some parameters, and I can change these. Make it bloody green if I want to make it an alien. So I can do some variation on colour, and I can do some obviously facial changes. Now, so that's a big thing. Getting that done and being able to do it with code is a big thing, because that meant that, you know, my eyes were popping out of their head, eyes, the amount of work involved. So that's a real big thing for me. I've got 3 racers at the moment that everything's going to be derived from. So this is an African, you can tell. So she's got random face on. Changes her appearance a little bit. So 3/4. Got the eyes done, corneas and everything. So random gem faces, which is quite good. I've got hair to do and what have you, but that is so blend shapes. Jim will tell you they're a nightmare. So the other thing I've been doing is clothes. So I've made these supposed to be sports shorts and sports top, and I haven't textured them yet. It's more that the concept of making them, if you get my meaning, and making them a skin mesh fit, but also I've been writing a program to, one, fit these clothes, add and remove clothes, and change some of the parameters on them. So this one turns into a metal breastplate and she turns into wearing a dress. Leaf patterns like that. And their faces change, obviously. And they're animated. Walking at the moment, I think. So what I wanted to do is change the, be able to change these things on the fly. Like she has got a green dress on. Which can be any colour, pink. And do materials and stuff like that. Also, it's very sparkly, that chest piece. Oh, that's what I've done. Stop. That was looking a bit weird. Delete that. Now she looks like she's going to have a metal breastplate that isn't sparkling all over the place. I've dragged it onto another character. Now these look like the same faces, but they're not. She's got this time only chin size max 34. She's only got one chin thing active, where she's got chin prominence, chin size max. And if you look down, noses and stuff, they're actually really quite different characters. She's got hardly any nose changes. She's only got nose size, a little bit of nose size, which is only that much. Can't even see it. Whereas this one, she has got lots of nose changes. So anyway, it's got quite a bit of way to go, but I've got a really good start. This is like amazing.